da 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 da. Okay. It wasn't pretty, and I don't know what it is, but the sun sets and I become different. There's something in me. I'm done running from one city to one to the loft. They want me to come get me.
If I was to give you one itty bitty piece of advice, it'd be to lie to police till they read you your rights. Not a single receipt or a piece they can find, and it's harder to keep, but it's easy to hide.
I'm easy to find, I'm where I'm always at. A little older, got a cramp in my shoulder and lower back. When the money and the marriage overlap, I told her bring me that Toyota back with Arizona tags.
And eeny, meeny, miny, Motorola fold in half. 30 seconds on the phone is 30 extra on the tab. I don't wanna go and see it, I don't even know who asked. All they needed for conspiracies, a single photograph.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of WenMint. I'm the machinist. I'm your host. I'm still here, still doing this stuff. And Yachts is here too. Can you fucking believe it? And Daz is here too. Daz Boxer Turbo. Everyone knows him. And today we're talking about Epoch Labz. Before we get started, don't forget, WenMint is for educational purposes only. Nothing said or alluded to within this program represents the views, opinions, and or ideology of WenMint. Its hosts, that's me. Its guests, that's those guys. Affiliates, partners, and or related social media platforms. In other words, believe absolutely nothing we say. We're just a bunch of degens and do your own research. Okay, cool. I got that out of the way. And look at this. I forgot my fancy frame overlay. There we go. Now we're professionals. Okay, we made it.
Looks good. Looks good.
Hell yeah. What's going on, guys?
I don't know how to do the overlay, so this is just my black. This is my wall.
I think StreamYard actually lets you do it, like automatically does a background and like cuts you out. It keeps cutting off a piece of Dax's head there, but that's all right. We know.
Well, I'm in my living room, so I got light coming in from that side, and so it thinks it's part of the background.
Yeah, you know something that I found. I'll have to turn mine off so you can see it. I have a green screen, but it rolls down. It's almost like those curtains you pull down and they just automatically unroll. It's kind of the opposite of that. You just pull it straight up. And I just lay this thing right behind the chair and whoop, throw it up, and you can put it away like instantly. It's fantastic. Best $100 I ever spent. I've been using it for years. But anyway, what the hell am I talking about? Welcome, everyone. Let's talk about Epoch Labz. We actually got a whole bunch of stuff to go over today. Make sure that not only do you head over to the WenMint Discord, because there's a giveaway in there for a Magic Kong. I actually have to hit go on that right now. It is officially published in the giveaway channel, but we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're giving away today as well. All you have to do is hashtag Epoch in the live chat. Definitely on YouTube. I don't know if they collect the comments from X or not. You can try. But if you're watching on YouTube, put hashtag Epoch in the comments and you'll be entered to win a whole bunch of stuff. What are we giving away? Again, there's a slew of things.
We got a salty seagull to give away. I believe I sent over 50 copium to give away, and I believe I sent over 50 bamboo to give away as well.
I'm taking a look right now.
Nice.
See what we got in here. Yep. So there's a Magic Kong, right? That's in the Discord. The salty seagull, and then let me check tokens here. Yeah, 50 copium and 50 bamboo. All right. So we got 3 people winning stuff here live and 1 over in the Discord. We already got some entries. Cool. All right. So keep it up. So let's go. What are we talking, guys? What's going on with Epoch Labz? I got to say, I don't know how we're going to do this in an hour because Epoch Labz has so many different projects and such an enormous community.
Yet's warned me about that, so we're gonna try to keep it to an hour. But I can't guarantee that you don't get excited and we go over that. So.
That does happen. That does happen pretty often with me. And don't forget, people, if you want to learn more about Epoch Labz, you can find them on X. Oh, I'm in the wrong Twitter account. Wow, I'm just all over things today. Look at this. There we go. but you can find them on X at Epic Labz. And then again, I think it's just epiclabs.com, right? For the website.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. All right, man.
Turbo, if you want to start it off, like you can kind of go over a few things, and then we'll hit it from there.
All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna start off by saying, number one, we've got we're gonna have some alpha to start with. We're gonna have some alpha to end the day with,
Nice.
And we're gonna touch on as much as we can about all the projects that Epic Labs currently has, is developing, and hopefully give everybody a better idea of how we believe everything is actually going to tie together in their multiverse. So, so that being said, I want to mention a couple of other things. I would like to remind everybody that has been following the Kongs. We just won that big Twitter, that big Twitter bracket contest of
Nice.
the next, who's going to be the next NFT, the next big NFT project. We've believed it's going to be that for quite some time, but now the X community can believe that along with us. Actually, that continuing on that, the beginning alpha of today is that Epic Labs actually just made the private messaging live on the website now.
Oh, is this with like the where you
direct
can sign
messaging
up on the map and everything else? Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So the guerrilla militia got unlocked recently. We had our first. We've been given our first mission to find billboards and submit some billboards, because they're going to do some real life advertising. Now they literally just about 25 minutes ago made the direct messaging live. So now you can go on their marketplace. You can find a Kong that you like on the marketplace. You can see who owns it. You can go check out their profile. And then, if you want to chat with them about the Kong, if you want to do a little bartering or whatnot, you have a direct way of, talking with the rest of your community through the website. It doesn't necessarily, you don't have to go through hoops, jump through hoops, trying to find out who they are on Discord and
Right.
all that. There's it's a game changing thing. It's nice, easy way to contact people now.
This is and for everyone knows who Chilled Kongs is, right? And it's important to point out to everyone that, there's been some negative things flying around about the Kongs way in the past, and people sometimes get confused and they're like, oh, well, they did that. They were taken over, right? This is a completely different Kongs, and you can tell from all this amazing stuff coming. I mean, look at this map. This is so cool to be able to just look and see all of these Kongs all over the world, right? And
if you just look at the roadmap, right? Like a lot of people were skeptical about what was going to happen on the roadmap. This is like impossible. Like all of the stuff that is like said by BC billionaire is like it can't be done in an amount of time. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight. Like no one's expecting this to happen overnight, but they're building a solid foundation. They're taking their time. They're doing everything right. They're slowly letting everything roll out piece by piece, and everything is hitting on all cylinders when it does. Like it's just a matter of time before all of it does get there. And part of it too is we as a community need to make sure that we are engaging and doing our part. Like they're building back there, but we've got to be building on our side, talking about it with friends, chatting about it on different social media, Twitter, but not just Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, wherever you can, and just spread the word and get this out. Like this is going to be big. Like this is just one small part of the big Epic Labs multiverse.
Hell yeah.
It's one project,
epic, right? The Epic Labs multiverse. And it really is true, right? Community is the most important thing. And it's one of the reasons that I'm so excited about what Epic Labs is doing, because you guys have such a strong community. I mean, it's huge, right? There's so many projects that are under the Epic Labs umbrella, and there's nobody out there. I mean, if you hold a Kong, you're proud of that Kong, right? If you have a salty seagull, you've probably had it for a pretty long time. And that thing means something to you, and this community, after everything that everyone's been through, whether with the market or with, whatever happened in the past, right? It's a new day, it's a new team, and they're still here, and they're stronger than ever. So it's pretty exciting.
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
And in this map, there is something hidden in this map that we have not found or unlocked yet. There is something hidden with all these pictures, all this stuff that we still have not unlocked. If you look down in that bottom right corner, you'll see missing404.net, and if you go to that website, there's 7 different fields to fill out, and then to submit your wallet. And if you get it right, something pops in your wallet. We have no idea what it is. We have no idea what's on this map, but in every aspect of what has been like shown and unlocked and given to the community, there's always something. There's always a little something for paying attention and keeping your eye. And yeah, it's been a blast.
This is pretty cool. There's poker chips in that corner too, really small down here.
Yep.
I was just look at there is a lot of shit in it, and it is kind of fun that you guys kept this too, right? Because they had the visual roadmaps before. Obviously, down below here, you do have a very detailed list with a lot of things done already. But it is fun that you kind of kept that theme, right, and continued it going with the animated part of this. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get too deep in that
I actually want to comment on that, because it's an interesting observation you made. Because what Epoch Labs has done with the projects that they've acquired, all of their acquisitions, is what they presented the community was the opportunity to complete the project's vision with, the proper backing for it. So, as much as, as much drama as there was, with the founding team of the Chilled Kongs, they had that visual roadmap. Okay. A lot of what is actually being produced for the Kongs may actually have been an original idea by them. Okay. And now Epoch Labs is getting to actually execute on those ideas. Okay. They're not necessarily taking them and making a completely new thing. They've wanted to actually live by the visions of the original creators and finish off what should have been done. But they clearly have, the backing and the funding and the people behind it to execute on a much higher and probably much more professional level as well.
Right. Absolutely. I'm actually just making a banner here as well, just to remind everyone that just joined us. Don't forget to type Epic in the live chat on YouTube to enter these giveaways. There's a salty seagull, there's a bunch of copium, some bamboo, and there's a Magic Kong giveaway in the WenMint Discord right now. So get involved and do that. All right. And if anyone has any questions for the team, please do not hesitate to ask. I will very happily ask them for you. Just don't ask if Yachts is wearing pants, because he never does. Every time we do these things, he never does. Right. Anyway, so what's next on our journey here? Because Epic embodies a lot of stuff.
Well, what I think, hey, Turbo, would you like to go over like kind of the genesis of how this all started with, that message from BC Billionaire?
Yeah. Yes, I will do that. Before I do that, though, I'm gonna paint a very brief picture for everybody. Okay, something that I've been thinking about, because I don't think a lot of people actually understand the scope of what they mean by a multiverse. Okay, so imagine you're 8, 10, 12 years old. You're reading that Spider-Man comic that you just picked up from the comic book store, right? And you're enjoying yourself, but at 8 or 10 years old, how would you have known that owning a piece of Marvel would, having a piece of Marvel would have gotten to where it is now? Okay.
Right.
When I was a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was not expecting, I was just starting to see Marvel movies come out. I was not expecting, to start seeing all of the interaction between the different universes there. Okay. So, now being older and a little wiser and into some, finances here and a little degeneracy at the same time.
Just a little.
Imagine owning a part of Marvel before it turned into what it is today.
Right.
So that's kind of where I fall in here. That's kind of what I'm imagining of the future of this, which in turn sort of implies you really have to have some patience, because this is going to be a very long built project. This is not something that they're trying, this is not something that they're trying to get through their roadmap by next year necessarily. This is going to be a long building process, and each one of these projects are going to get built up in their own pace, and then they're going to interact with this whole multiverse at some point in time. Mm-hmm. So I think that's I think it's very exciting to imagine something like that and be able to, get in on the ground floor right now where it is.
Absolutely.
So,
now, let me ask you, because you guys keep saying they, right? Like they're building. What exactly, just so everyone knows, is your guys' position within Epoch Labz?
So we like for me, I'm a wise one. I'm ground control, which means like basically I'm a moderator on Epoch Labz Discord channel. But our main job, our main focus is to give all the information to newcomers. We are here so that we can onboard people, because there's so much information. There's so many different puzzles and different routes that we have kind of already gone through a lot of it. So what we're trying to do is give that information out to the new people that join, so that they can understand like the storylines, check out the right, hey CMDR, and check out the different websites. Because once you check out the different websites, there's kind of the storylines, and then you can check out Twitter, and you can kind of see how all of these storylines are interconnected and kind of coming together, and we're getting to that precipice of them colliding, and so that's basically like my position in all of this. So like that's basically it.
Gotcha. What do you think, Daz? What about you, my friend?
So yeah, I agree with that. We're definitely, we are definitely moderators for all of their servers. Policing is the wrong word, but we are, we are overseers. Yeah, I mean, we're overseers of the server. We're making sure that the factual information gets out there. And that it isn't, it isn't just wild statements going out there and causing misinformation to get spread around. Okay. Us as the wise ones, as the ground control, have spent a lot of effort, doing that ourselves, and actually getting more and more of the community to follow in the same sort of process. So that anybody new comes in, they're directed to the correct information right away. There isn't any confusion as to what's going on, and we're all there to be able to reach out to the community. What a bunch of us have been discussing more so lately is now that we're almost 2 years into working with Epoch Labz, we're actually sort of starting to try and figure out what it actually is,
right?
And we've been coming to a conclusion lately that Epoch Labz itself, the actual project of Epoch Labz itself, may actually be something along the lines of a talent acquisition company. Okay, in that the people that join that server and get active in that server and get promoted in that server, like we did to ground control, and like myself and the last Starfighter getting promoted to project coordinators, is that they're looking to cultivate people to be able to work with them. Okay, because they are the dev team and the business team behind it. It's a very broad scope. and they're building their own projects as well as having, acquired the 5 that they've acquired so far. So they're going to need personnel to run all of this stuff and manage all of this stuff. And it kind of appears like, what a better way to find those people than to actually cultivate them yourself.
Right. And to, you just watch. I mean, as a founder, you see in your Discord who really cares about the community, right? Who really cares about the future of the project, and who's got it, right? Who figured it out? Like, yes, this is what we are trying to do. So what better way to find people to help guide people forward? What's up, bud?
So if you want to check, if you go to Moonboy Mafia,
I think I can do that by clicking this really cool button, and then all this stuff happens.
Yeah, and so if you go up to projects and then go to Moonboy Mafia, that will direct you to the website. Awesome. And if you scroll down, click on I think it's number 2 or 3. 2. And it should have names. Now, this is where my name appeared before I got ground control. I'm not saying that if the names that do appear here are going to become ground control, but this is one way that the team and everything recognizes those that have been working hard and that have been helping out the community, looking at the puzzles, interacting with everybody, interacting with all the different servers. And yeah, I think it is 3.
Yeah, Daz was in that number 2. So he was in there before you. I just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Yes.
Okay. No, just kidding.
Yes. And actually the names have changed a couple of times.
Yes, they have.
There were in that disc 2, the 5 names that were in there. 2 of them were different before. So, they're always watching, and they're always adjusting their strategy based on, what they're seeing on their end.
Right. And this is cool that they take, because let's be honest, right? Anybody can spin up an NFT project, and no matter what utility or promises or anything else you make, right, without a strong community and an active community like Epoch Labz has, you're not going to make it, right? Unless you can just fund until the end of time. But to have something like this where the community is constantly involved, they're part of these puzzles, right? They're on the websites. Like, that's cool. It's pretty much just gamifying everything about this across so many different projects. It's really exciting. And Recon Monk wants to know what that egg is behind you, Daz. I think it's a
we're gonna get to that, Recon. We're gonna get to that. Don't you worry.
Right. Yeah, knows more than me.
But I really think that it's not only community is key, but I feel that we're at a paradigm shift with cryptocurrency in general. And I think the multiverse and is also kind of saying the multi-chain, Cardano is incredible, and it will always stay incredible. And it's a solid foundation for in real life adoption. But we need to start thinking of projects as not just a project that is an NFT, but it is a business. It is a type of entrepreneurship. And if you want to be a part of that, yes, you are a community, but you're also a part of that business. And so you need to have some sort of elevated respect and responsibility on your behalf to show good faith and to show a sign of professionalism when you're dealing with other projects and when you're dealing with social media and everything. It's great to degen and everything like that, but if we really want this to become bigger and to become part of real life and have mass adoption, we need to start acting like it should be, and that people will look at it and go, these people are professional, these people are building a business, and this is going to work. And so that the snowball effect can happen, and before you know it, it's out there.
Right. And talking about cross chain, I mean, I have my new Dan hoodie on, right? I can't help it. But it's important to understand, right? If you can only grow so much if you're in one ecosystem, right? Unless you're like a project on Bitcoin where they have a ridiculous trillion dollar whatever market cap. But it's not, you're not giving up on your home quote unquote chain, right? You can diversified portfolio is a strong portfolio, right? And I'm sure if Epoch Labs ever did branch out, Cardano would always be its HQ and its home. And it is important, right? Any NFT project is a business. It's any mint should be looked at least in my opinion, as it's a startup, right? That's the funding phase, and then you build something, unless it's just an art project. So it is important to make sure that that is kept in mind, right? This is a business, and we're gonna turn this into something great. But all right, anyway, so we got off in the weeds a bit there. So what's next, right? So we hit actually on Moonboy Mafia a bit. We hit on chilled Kongs. Everybody knows and loves chilled Kongs. We talked about salty seagulls, but we didn't really dig into them too much yet. And there's so much more.
We're gonna end with salty seagulls because our end of the podcast alpha is
big finale.
So so let's why don't we talk about Panda Society for a little bit?
Let's do it. What's the website?
Pandasociety.com.
That would make sense. Actually, I think I could find it right from the Epoch Labs homepage. That's another thing. Make sure. Oh, you can't see it, people. Here, I'll show you. If you go to epochlabs.com, right up top here, you can see projects. And there are some in here that are classified top secret. So don't ask about those, or else you're going to get disappeared, and they're going to find pieces of you in all your neighbors' mailboxes. But you can go through here and find everything. So we looked at Moonboy. We have Pandatron. What do we got going on here?
Oh yeah.
Well,
please follow
Panda Society.
Pandatron.
Yeah, follow Pandatron. But what we're going to talk about with Panda Society will lead into Pandatron. Right, that's kind of like turning into more or less like a sister project, maybe, to them. So
that's not it.
I'm guessing this is not Panda.
No, it's not. No, pandasociety.net.
I was going to say, I'm like, well, there's pandas. All right.
I mean, pandas are cute.
They are very cute. Here we go. This is nice and
that's the right one.
Looking. All right, cool. So what do we got going on here, guys?
So Panda Society was their first acquisition, and it's still very much left to be unlocked. We've been given the part one of the roadmap, which there's been a few things that have been ticked off the list. But unfortunately, their community had gotten whittled down to like a bare minimum of people. They still have a fair amount of holders, but the amount of people that are still active from way back when has dwindled down.
Right.
So part of our goal in this podcast is to get some awareness on the Panda Society. And have some of our excited salty seagull holders, our excited chilled Kong holders, head over to Panda Society and start working on some of those puzzles and mysteries as well, because we will need to build up that community as well in order to start unlocking more of their features. Okay. You can see they already have a staking hub, similar fashion to, what the chilled Kongs are. You can stake your OG pandas, you can stake your shoguns. If you start reading through, a lot of the major announcements that they've done in the server, there's a lot of emphasis on land and ownership. So we know OG pandas are going to get dropped land at some point. We know that the elemental tribes are going to be swapped out for lands at some point, but we don't really know the scope of what the lands are going to be yet, or how the NFTs are going to interact with them yet. But again, I will stress that there is an emphasis on ownership. Okay, ownership is everything. So, we'd like to start digging into Panda Society some more and get some of that unlocked. Because me personally, I kind of feel as if the Panda Society project may be sort of like Guardians of the Multiverse, maybe.
That could be cool. And I got to say, too, I noticed Recon Monk. I don't mean to cut you off, but he said pump the music. And I was like, what's going on? Because I keep my computer.
Yeah, the music is dope. And beware of the bonsai mountains.
This is definitely, it really does. It has like a Mortal Kombat feel, like Recon Monk said, right? Like, this is really cool. I could definitely see these guys being guardians of your multiverse.
And so to dive into the lands a little bit, it kind of goes over a little bit in the Discord, but like, so yeah, each collection is going to get a land drop. Right. So, and then these land drops, you're going to be able to build on them. But you need to like create a coalition or like be under a shogun and start your clan so that you have, protection from raiders so that people don't get kidnapped or monsters don't appear and start raiding your resources and everything. So it looks like Panda Society is going to be more of a gamified possibly project. A lot of this is speculation at this point, but from the looks of it and from how it's kind of being developed and what we've seen from all the Discord announcements, it looks like that's what this is going to be more like, which I'm really excited for. I love playing games. I love like Civilization and World of Warcraft and stuff like that. So it looks like it might be something along those lines. But I'm not really 100% sure yet because we haven't gotten a bunch of information yet.
So let me ask you, this is all, I mean, this sounds great, but again, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds just yet because we want to give them a reason to go do their research or find out more about this. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget, these are out there right now, right? Yep. Like you can go to JPEG. Yes. And what's the difference between these two collections? So we have the OG collection that has 3,333 OG Panda Society NFTs, but then there's the Shogun Dynasty. There's only 333 of these. What's the deal with these guys?
Those are like, so in Feudal Japan, the Shogun is what owned the whole system, right? Like, so you had your Shogun, you had your samurai and everything, and everybody obeyed or went to the Shogun. He's the one that made the rules. He's the one that set where the food is. So these the Shogun get the biggest part of the land, and because it's such a small specialized collection, they get dropped the biggest land out of all of the collections.
And now when you said you have to build, kind of like you have your land, you have to have a shogun, right? When you build your whole clan, is this where these shoguns come in? So there can only be 333 clans at max?
Yeah. So let me see. They go over where it if you don't have the protection of a shogun, you can go and be without the protection of the shogun.
Probably a good idea.
But
yeah,
then you're not getting the protection of the rest of that clan, right?
Right.
So like you can become a Ronin, sure. There was Ronin in feudal Japan all the time, but they were at their own devices, and so basically the same thing. Community is key. If you have a clan behind you that can protect you and all kind of work together, share resources and everything, you're way better off at getting further in the game, getting further along in the process of whatever that is.
Gotcha. Now it shows that the floor price here is 0, which probably means none of them are listed because people don't want to sell them. So if you can get one, good luck to you. The people that have these must really want them.
Right.
Yes.
So they're not. So this is their own dedicated marketplace. So they're not listed on the Panda Society marketplace. Okay. There are a few still on JPEG.
Oh God. So this isn't like
Right.
linked across to JPEG with an API or anything.
No,
So,
this is
oh,
this is this
gotcha.
is Epic. This is Epic Labs' own marketplace that they built specifically for the Panda Society, just like there is
Gotcha.
one specifically built for the Kongs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. And it is a good place to go if you're looking for these NFTs. Apparently, if you want a Shogun, you might have to go look on JPEG, but it's probably not going to be easy to get one because I think anyone that has them, they want them, and you're going to have to pay a pretty hefty price.
Yeah, I
But
think it's around six. I think it's around. I want to say between 600 and 800 ADA for the
oh
floor
wow.
price. I believe.
Well, here you go. And actually, there's only one for sale here that people want to get rid of. But again, you can head over to JPEG as well. But if you can, right, if you're looking for things, it's always good to go to those project run marketplaces because it does support the project a little bit more than JPEG would, right? Same with Joe
And
Cons. If you're looking for
and
a
I would
con, check there.
Yeah, and I would like to stress that if we do use Epic Labs marketplaces, if you do use them to list and sell on, you are actually getting some more money back from your sale than you normally would from JPEG.
Oh, nice.
Because the royalties for the integrated marketplace are less than they are on JPEG, number one. And number two, the royalties that are collected from the Epic Labs marketplace go directly back into the project.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Oh, and we have Recon Monk and Stephen Noble told us. So it is an 800 ADA floor for Shoguns.
Right.
That's probably not going to get any lower people as they build this out. So if you want one now, it's probably the time. Again, not financial advice, but to be honest, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have one of these already? Please go get one. All right. Anyway, so we dug into what else do we need to know about Panda Society, or should we move into the next arm of Epic Labs?
So I'll just clarify a little bit more with Panda Society, and then we can move on to the next thing. So there are, if you go into the Discord, you can actually see there are 7 clans total. Okay. Now I think what Yats was getting at as far as aligning yourself. So there won't be 333 different clans. You have these 7 clans, and you're likely to be able to choose which clan you align with, based on the pandas that you own. Okay. Gotcha. But you're gonna, our interpretation, at least of the announcements that we've been given and all the information that's out there, is that if you do not own a Shogun, or you not manage to get your hands on one, there's reason to believe that you will have to align yourself with somebody that does. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, again, this is stuff that has to be unlocked by the community. So we are trying to get some more people involved, and everything. You don't need any particular skill for anything that Epic Labs does. There are talents all over the place. Some of us are very active on X. Some of us are just more active in the Discord. Yats and another one of our ground control, Zakros, in progressing the storyline for Epic Labs. They were actually, manipulating some of the images that were on the Epic Labs website in order to find this creature that was in the storyline. And we were stuck on that part of the storyline for a very, very long time. And just suddenly out of nowhere, it was like, wait a minute, they have these cameras on this website that seem to be out of order. And I don't know what, primed either of you to actually take a look in there, but they ended up slowing down the frames of those cameras and discovering that there was an image hidden in one of the frames.
Kudos to Zakros on that.
I got to say too, that is one of the coolest things about this community, right? Because there's always something going on. There's so many puzzles. There's so many connections, right? Between all of these things that if somebody's interested in that, right? Being a part of a community that there's constantly something to do. There's constantly something to figure out. And you're surrounded by like-minded people that have that same, kind of push towards that gamified experience, you could really have a lot of fun in the Epic Labs universe here.
Yeah, and and I hope people are actually hearing it, that there are many things to be involved in. You know, you don't have to be involved in all of them. There are many things to find and discover. Okay, so you could stick strictly with the Panda Society and just, you know, try to keep unlocking that. You could stick with the Kongs and just try to unlock that. A lot of us jump around all over the place because it's more about what kind of skill you're looking for in order to solve that puzzle over, you know, who are the active people, because it's not necessarily just the active people that are going to unlock things, you know. You know, for example, so we can segue into Pandatron now. So if you find Pandatron in what is called energy saving mode, which is basically they've taken the NFT and sort of put a black shroud over it to darken him. If you find him in energy saving mode in a server and you tag him, you can win a Panda Society NFT. It's been done twice already.
That's pretty cool. And this is a cool website too, by the way.
Right. So that's an ongoing challenge for people. You could spend your entire day just looking for Pandatron on the internet if you wanted to.
And the thing is too, is like these projects are all interconnected. The storyline is kind of like these parts, so the philosophy of BC Billionaire is basically all these different collections are their own world. Like they're not just pictures. There's a breathing, living civilization that you know has like basically whatever civilization would have, and from that each one is interacting with other collections. And so, like for instance, Pandatron is the reason why the SS Oblivion was destroyed. It came out of this void and shot its laser out of its mouth and completely obliterated it. And so it's like, well, why did he do that? Why did Pandatron do that and destroy the SS Oblivion and cause the Moon Boy Mafia to be created, you know? And so like with that, like you never know how they're going to interact. So like being a part of every community, or at least a little bit, will kind of help you see the bigger picture. But the number one thing with Pandatron right now that we think, like I've kind of got a wink from BC Billionaire that if we reach 2,000 Twitter followers, that something will be unlocked. And so we're almost at 1,000. And if we can get to 2,000 with all the community members from Chilled Kongs, from Panda Society, from Salty Seagulls, and everybody else that's like in Cardano, that something cool is going to happen. And it's just and it doesn't cost anything. All it is just a quick follow, and then you move on with your day. And you never know, it might be something cool that happens to your Twitter account.
Right. This is, you know, and again, we don't want to get too deep into all of the gamified stuff with this, but pretty much I think the overarching storyline here is that, like, it really is, there is a lot of shit to do in Epic Labs, and there's a lot more going on than people realize. And it sounds like it's a lot of fun, right? Instead of just being in the normal, say GM in the morning, say GN at night, right? Post a meme here and there and maybe retweet a couple things. Like there's a lot of thought and time and effort that goes in to keeping this community engaged, right? And having fun. And that's what it's all about, right? Is having a good time together and growing those bonds. So this seems great. I think Pandatron personally is misunderstood, and it could have been an accident that he did what he did, but you know, maybe we'll find out down the road.
Yeah, that's actually not an uncommon theory. So
yes.
I mean, look at him. He's a panda that's made out of metal. It can't be easy to move around. There was probably a big red button and he tripped up, right? Come on. But anyway.
So yeah, so briefly to end with the Pandatron, if you go through the menus up top, they want to do anime for that. So it kind of seems as if the Pandatron will be I don't know, maybe more of an entertainment value NFT kind of thing. Okay, so it appears as if we actually sort of have to unlock his story so that we get a comic on that or some such thing.
I mean, what a cool name, the Bamboo Bounty Hunter. Like, that's pretty sick.
Listen, man, bamboo's dangerous. They sharpen those things up and forget about it. You really get hurt, especially if it gets under your fingernail. But yeah, there's really a lot of stuff to dig through, and you guys have done a great job on these websites. Like every website we've hit so far, looking at all these different projects, really are well built. So yeah,
it's something something to note. We periodically get a comment that it's what have they done? I mean, they've done everything that everybody else has done. Staking this and et cetera, et cetera. But if you go onto their websites are super smooth. That staking platform is still, I mean, currently the easiest one that I use personally. I don't know if there are others that compare as far as how fast and how simple they are. But
right.
what's going on? They're putting a lot of detail into everything. So
absolutely. I just saw it just disappeared on me. Netflix was down here as well as Adult Swim. What's going on with that?
So if you go into the objectives, where is that going to be? I think that's in the story somewhere. Origin story. Yeah, I believe so. If you go all the way down to the bottom of that, I think is the list of objectives. Yeah, prime directives. So this is kind of in a way, I would say that this is Pandatron's roadmap. So these are sort of goals that we're trying to also unlock for Pandatron. And if you can see on there, kind of the only one that's really tangible at the moment is getting him 2,000 friends. So that's why we're pushing for that directive right now.
Gotcha. So there hasn't been, because you have like featuring Rick and Morty, all this.
Right. We don't actually know what's behind that yet. So.
All right. And I won't dig into it too much, being you guys aren't part of the team, but it seems odd that that's on this right here when there's no partnerships made or anything like that. It's just a goal, but whatever. Well, we shall. Well,
we don't really know what BC Billionaire has up his sleeve back there. He's doing this. First of all, he's doing this all on his own dime. Nothing's been minted yet. He hasn't taken funds from anybody. The 5 acquisitions were just that. They were acquisitions.
Right.
It was, the projects were handed over. They were given. There were no sales. They were not interested in any of the existing funds necessarily. So, he's definitely got resources to build with. And they're taking the approach that they're going to build it and the people will come. They're not going to try and suck money out of the people, hoping that they stay around.
Well, that's good. That's unlike most NFT founders, right?
Yes.
What are these things? What are these stasis pods? These Pomolsky stasis pods? I have to ask because I saw them on the front page here.
Well, so they were launched, and so with the storyline, basically, Vanessa Valentine has been controlling the ship. As far as we know, that's the only person out of like kind of the
main characters.
The main characters, right? And so So the first thing was like the ship was going to fall into the Earth's atmosphere and like just disintegrate, right? And so like we had to fix that and get it stabilized so that it was orbiting the Earth. And so that we were able to do that. And then we got an attack by that creature, which went into this station and just ripped it up, like ripped all the personnel apart. And so we located that, and it ended up teleporting out and heading towards Earth. But all these stasis pods at one point were launched, and we have no idea where they went. We know that there's 2 males and 6 unidentified humanoid beings inside them. We don't know where they were launched. And when you click on one, if you click on the transfers complete, we have to find out the information, the personnel, to be able to find out the location of where these stasis pods were launched.
Gotcha. So pretty much this is just, and you know, it's enough that this is part of the lore. This is just another gamified version of everything that's going on with Epoch Labz. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, what do you think, guys? Hey, and don't forget, everybody, type hashtag Epoch, EPOCH, in the live chat on YouTube, and we got some stuff to give away. And there's a Magic Kong in the WenMint Discord. Just go to the giveaway channel, click enter, and you're entered. That's going to be up for 3 days. So even if you didn't catch this live, you still have time to go enter and try your luck. But all right. So what's next? We're getting close to that hour mark. Are we getting close?
Oh, all right. So
yeah.
So
basically, you want to talk about you want to talk about the creature and the eggs?
Yes. So I was one day I was kicking around. I was checking out all the affiliates Discords, like going, I wonder if there's anything in these. And I came across a piece of skull, or just a random piece in the Hash Guardians Discord, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And so I took it and I brought it to the attention of General Chad and Epoch Labz, and sure enough, all of the affiliated projects had a piece in there, somewhere in their Discord. And we found a bunch of these pieces and we were putting them together, and it was a skull. And with the skull had all these letters attached to each piece. And so we finally were able to create the skull. And then we had to decipher all these letters. And so that took us a long time. And eventually we came up with Celius Everhart. And we unlocked that website, which turned out to be reanimated rabbits. So in the beginning of the year, this site, when you clicked on this right here, it said submit the skull and then submit your wallet. And if you got it right, something was maybe going to be dropped or something. So a while had passed, and the solar eclipse that happened in what was it, April or March?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That happened, and all of a sudden stuff started to get active, and they said, after the year of the rabbit and at the solar eclipse, I'm going to, I'm going to use my blood for the eggs, and we're going to reclaim the earth, basically. And so then this website popped up. We, the people that kind of helped solve that puzzle and have been active, all got airdropped these random eggs. Now we're
Gaz's background. I see where that came from.
Yeah, there are 7 of them total, and they happen to be the only 7 NFTs that we know have been created by Epoch Labz.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And they were airdropped to people in the community that were active and that solved this. So that is pretty fucking cool. Pardon my language. Right. That you guys had to dig through all of these Discords to find these and still kind of break the code. It just once again speaks to the gamified aspect of this. And there's always something.
And then on top of it, we put them all together, and we still had to wait for a whole year for anything to happen with it.
Oh, here you go.
Which is really the wild part. We actually solved this, and then it brought us to the next page. Yeah, it brought us to the next page that was kind of, stay tuned. And it wasn't until a year later where, it's the sort of the Chinese New Year and this eclipse kind of coincided with each other. and that's what sort of sparked the X account coming active again, and then an update on the website to actually show what the project was going to be. Gotcha.
Yep. And Metal Zone shared here. I'm sure everyone just saw it. What was actually shared during when all of this happened. So that's actually pretty cool. So you can tell there's a lot of thought that goes into
the X post that Yats was referring to. It says the final words to pass my lips before my ascent ends. Yeah. By eclipse, with the last of my breath, I transmute life from my seed of death. So shall all my heirs be blessed and divide my blood amongst the rest. So very profound words.
If you scroll down, it shows this picture here, but if you look at it closely, there's actually some stuff like written on the wall. So we have we have kind of an idea that this is going to be some type of like transmuting, or like similar to possibly like Magic Kongs, where you could submit 2 different NFTs and they'll mutate and take different attributes from those 2 NFTs and create one out of it. That's of course speculation, but it seems like there's been like a really big like number like consistency, like either 11 or 7. So there's 11 little like kind of dashes that look like eyes up above. There's 11 branches off of the egg. So like it seems like that's like kind of like a consistent theme of Epoch Labs. It's like with the Chilled Kongs, as like 7 albums, 7 7 eggs, that sort of thing. So it's just another part of the puzzle. But I'm excited to hopefully unlock one of these new collections and see what the art looks like and what the utility is behind them. But there's still much more down the line, and even on Chilled Kongs, they are planning on doing a what was it? The Bitcoin,
the Ordinals Mint.
Yeah, Ordinals Mint. I'm sorry. And so that should be coming out down the road. And I mean, there's just so much that's coming, and you just gotta hang tight and see what comes next.
The Reanimated Rabbits project sort of it seems as if it might explain what the void is in the Epoch Labs story. And also how you'll be able to take the back doors or the voids into the various projects. So it's alluding to more of how everything is going to tie together.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's I do like the whole feel of this, right? And how they launched this with the Eclipse and Year of the Rabbit and everything else. It does sound it sounds like a lot of fun to be a part of. So if this is something that people enjoy in NFT projects, which most do, right? Most people are gamers. You like the gamified aspect, then Epoch Labs might be something that you need to check out. So what do you think about Salty Seagulls? I know you've been pushing quite a bit of alpha towards the end of this for the Seagulls. Do you want to jump into that?
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely talk about the Seagulls now. So the Seagulls are probably, from what we read, the Seagulls are going to be the last actual acquisition by Epoch Labs. Okay. There is another project that they have created called Crypto Pledge, which seems, as of right now, it seems like it's going to be a project escrow service, among other things. And I take that to sort of be, if a project feels that they are no longer able to sustain themselves, they can hand it over to Crypto Pledge to maintain while they find the proper team to run this other project. Okay. But Salty Seagulls kind of slid right in there at the last minute and got our acquisition through. And it had been sort of a discussion and something hidden in the background for quite some time. But there was, like with a lot of other projects out there, we had our fair share of drama over the years, and weren't really sure what to do. When it first started, we were a little hesitant about what was going on. We still wanted to protect our project and not necessarily, give it over to Epoch Labz, but things kind of changed. So, I'm going to read something that was, that we sort of prepared for this. So, as I just went over the Salty Seagulls Society project, over the last couple of years, sort of slowly went on this decline. Like everyone else, we had a couple of, blips in the chart, where we got some hype and we got some life back in there. But, overall, you see it in a lot of projects, everybody's sort of been dwindling out a little bit. I myself was just a community member there. I actually didn't even get to mint a Salty Seagull. Like, I was there on mint day, but it was right at the beginning of my whole Cardano experience. So I didn't have a whitelist in there. I didn't really understand how any of it worked. I didn't mint. And I FOMO'd the hell in on mint day on secondary market. But I had conviction in what they were doing at the time, and I stuck with the community. So I stuck around for a long time, and I ended up being one of the community members that ultimately sort of took over the project. We did eventually create, a council. So, there were about 9 of us that were overall in control. But yeah, I mean, it's very daunting and cumbersome when you see your community sort of start to dwindle and you're still there being active. And it took a lot of time to get control of the project. There were issues with founders. Johnny, stuck it out the longest. But even we had a little issues with him with communication. So we were kind of dead in the water for a little while, and it was really sad because we were one of the more active communities out there. People did show up, and people did still come to our Discord every day. We did rumbles. The guys, I'm sure you're familiar with FarmBot now, Farmer and Idiocalypse. They actually started developing that whole thing in Salty Seagulls because we wanted to be able to tip native tokens. So that, people were coming in for that. And then they also created, a game. So they have like a lot of the farm battles that you see now. That was, those were sort of started, in with Salty Seagulls. We got our own version of that. And then they started spreading out their other versions. But yeah, so we were a little bit SOL. The benefactor had tried to save it, step in and save the project, discussing an acquisition with Johnny. But ultimately he didn't hand it over. And that wasn't a sole decision on him. We had the council had, some voice chats where, we just, we were nervous and we weren't ready at that time, given the information that we had. But in the end, we did get to hand it over in the end. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah. Wanted to mention, also, with the benefactor trying to save the project, help us save the project. He did make some sizable purchases for us, in much the same way that he made sizable purchases for the Ape Society, trying to support their ecosystem. And then, ultimately, the responsibility of the goals landed on my shoulders. I was able to, get control of, what funds we had. I was able to get control of all the DAO funds that we had. And then, right before the deadline of their acquisitions on Cardano, a lot of extra information came to light, and we ended up handing it over. So that being said, I am officially announcing that for anybody who hasn't been paying attention, the Salty Seagulls project is owned by the benefactor. It has been acquired by Epoch Labz. I myself personally helped transfer over any project files that I had, working alongside Lord Tavali. She's a powerhouse of a person.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, she's really been behind a lot of the business aspects of this thing, and she's the main point of communication with their team. So, I mean, kudos to her. She does a lot for us. We had a discussion in the Salty Seagull server. There's actually still a dedicated channel with the entire discussion about the acquisition. Okay, we had a vote in the server for what to do with the DAO funds. The community actually voted nearly unanimously, I believe, to hand over all the DAO funds to them as well. And they with that, they will actually be creating our own custom DAO platform for us, which, as I understand, is going to be fully automated in some way. We'll be able to make proposals, discuss proposals, and vote right there. Okay. We did have some minimal business funds left over, which, again, as I said before, Epoch Labz always declined to take those funds. So what we decided to do as a council, since we had been, working for free for a good 18 months, the minimal amount that was left just got spread amongst us, and for us to decide what we wanted to do with. A lot of us actually ended up putting it back into the project or back into Epoch Labs projects, as we do have faith in and conviction in the benefactor. So that's a good thing. And that's it. I mean, it's basically official with the Seagulls. They've been taken over by Epoch Labz. And the little teaser for the end of this is that we're anticipating a rather major announcement in the Gulls Discord sometime in the next 48 hours. So make sure you show up and have a read as to what they're going to say to us.
Absolutely.
And pick up with Salty Seagulls if you have the opportunity. The floor price is pretty awesome right now. I don't think it's going to stay down for that long.
Right. And actually, that brings up a good point. So everything, all of the acquired projects are able to stake on Kong Island right now. If you get one of the visas, any of the projects that are owned by Epoch Labz get a free diamond visa. Okay. The third party approved projects you can choose from, you can choose to pay 120 ADA or 60 ADA for a difference of a few perks. Okay. But the bottom line of all of that is since you can stake all of these Epoch Lab projects on Chilled Kongs, it should in theory sort of level the playing field for what these various projects are worth. Okay. So if you don't have any Epoch Labs assets right now, and you're just looking to, you're looking for something minimal just to take a look at the ecosystem, look at the projects that they've acquired, because there are some of them whose floor prices are well below, the prices of those visas, of the lesser visas.
Right.
So you can actually, you can benefit by, you can benefit the most out of the Epoch Labs ecosystem, by purchasing, one of those less expensive NFTs.
Awesome. And so anything owned by Epoch Labs can be staked on the Chilled Kongs website.
Yes, that is almost anything right now. So the Chilled Kongs, that's their native staking platform. So they're obviously on there. The Magics, the Vox, those are all stakeable. Panda Society, Treasure Trolls, and Salty Seagulls are all able to be staked as tourists right now. as well as the third party, approved projects, that have gone through. The only thing that Epoch Labs owns right now that isn't staking is a project called Alien Ants. Okay, which was they acquired ant workers and are moving it over to, they've renamed it, they've revamped everything, and it is now Alien Ants. But again, it became also became a very depressed project, very minimal activity in there right now. So we don't know exactly what's happening with that project. So that one, that one is, I'm not going to say that one is on the back burner, but as far as the acquisitions go, that one has the least amount of progress thus far. And that is most likely because it has currently the smallest community.
Right. But everything in its due time. Right.
Yes.
And it really
yeah,
is
absolutely.
that Epoch Labs is scooping up these projects, right, and bringing them under one umbrella, because when a founder leaves or whatever happens to these projects, the community's still there and they're left holding the bag, right? And this way they have a new home, right, and a new community to be a part of, and whatever they have going on one way or another is going to get tied into all of this awesome lore at some point, I'm sure, right? So well, this was great, guys. So there you go.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad either. 11 minutes over.
Yeah, we didn't do bad at all. We made it. And there is a lot to talk about, right? We could do this for literally days.
Oh yeah, we could sit here for hours and hours.
Yeah, there is a lot going on with Epoch Labs. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. So before we wrap up and do like our final things with the spin wheel and the giveaways and all that stuff, if someone's just hearing about Epoch Labs for the first time, or let's say they knew about Chilled Kongs and they knew somewhere they heard that Epoch Labs was involved or took over the project, but they didn't know about everything else going on with Epoch Labs, what would you tell them to get them involved? What do you say, Yachts?
I would just say, Chilled Kongs or whatever project you've joined in that community is just the tip of the iceberg. You are a part of a much larger community that is going to continue to grow, and you should if you have the opportunity, check out the other projects, check out all the different puzzles and everything, and you could be rewarded for your participation and your and also your it's been a long day, man. Give me a break. No, and also like being engaged in Twitter and everything like that. The more you're engaged in the community, the more you're rewarded, and the more you'll be able to see the bigger picture.
Nice.
If you know nothing that's going on with Epoch Labs, number one thing you do, go to epochlabs.com, read the benefactor's letter.
Do it.
That's number one thing. Decide if your morals and ethics and your goals align with what he has to say. That'll make you decide whether you really want to be a part of this large community or not. And then beyond that, in the Epoch Labs server, we have a channel that's called What We Know So Far,
nice.
Yeah. So that channel, we've actually split up into threads about the different projects, so you can get an idea in there what the progression of the various projects will be. And also, I don't know if you can see it over there, Ken. I actually I sent a link in the private chat in the SteamYard app here. Our ground control Zachros put together this great website for us, this Epoch Labs dossiers.
This is incredible.
It did really good job going through the progression that we as ground control actually had. So it's much of the stuff that's in the What We Know So Far channel, but it's all compiled into one space and is fairly chronological with how we discovered things.
Nice. This is great for people that are just joining the Discord, right? Just getting involved and really want to catch up on everything that's been done. Oh, here's that skull piece. Is that what those were that we were talking about?
Yeah.
This is really cool. Oh, and that's what's on the bottom corner of the website. So this is what it was after it was all put together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So people get involved in this. If you like gamified shit, which most of us do, right? You're gonna love what's going on with Epoch Labz, and it's nowhere near complete, right? And there's Daz's background with blue cobwebs and a smiley face egg, which I like, that's Daz's speed, right? I do like it. That's perfect. That's a perfect one.
funny enough, that's not the one that got dropped to me. Actually, that one got dropped to Metal Zone. So that's why he was commenting about whose egg is that.
And by the way, if anyone's interested, right, and this could be you. See that little person standing right there? My mouse is going up. That could be you, standing on a spaceship, looking out into space. Just one pane of glass away from utter oblivion.
And it could actually be you, because if you get involved, you could get written into the lore like we have.
Yeah, and click on the moon.
Click on the moon. Whoa. What is this? You have discovered an exquisite and mystifying golden pyramid on the dark side of the moon. Yet there's light, but that's okay because it's flashlights. Continue.
And another puzzle to be solved.
Only those that are worthy may enter the... Why is everything spelled backwards? God, puzzles hurt my head, man. Maths are hard and words are hard. May only enter the sacred crypt of the Boss Cat Billionaire. And then you need the password. I bet you it's password backwards. We're going to try this.
Could you imagine, Yats?
If it is, I am going. I would just lose it. I would throw my laptop. There's so many times I've put in so many things here.
Oh, wait a minute. You have to click there to try again. I spelled password wrong. Hold on. I'm going to type it out so I can't spell things backwards. And then, so it's DROWSSAP. Let's see. If this is it, what do I win?
We will see.
We'll find out.
Maybe it's the password. Wait a minute. Click here. It says enter password. Maybe it's enter password backwards. I'm going to try this one more time because see, this is what happens with Epoch Labz. You get people.
Oh yes, you get sucked right in.
I've spent many a times just typing in like random passwords for the data terminal for this, just to see if I throw a Hail Mary and it's caught, you know. But you know, and another thing too is that especially with the chilled Kongs, you know, they're there to help you market. If you do end up starting a business and you're part of the Kong community, they're behind you 100% to help with marketing and everything like that. That's what the whole guerrilla militia is about. So like, even like, this is like, what I feel is this is a new age of entrepreneurship and people to start their own business, where that used to be a very difficult thing to do. I feel like on the horizon, like that is going to be a huge part of what happens in the crypto industry, is that people are going to be able to start their own business and work for themselves instead of working for these corporations and stuff that you just feel like dead in the water and that you're not headed anywhere and not really doing what you want to do, like what your full potential is. Like, this is your time to look for what you love to do and follow that dream. Like, just do it, man.
And have it be mutually beneficial with the project you're using to represent yourself with.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. Did you guys say something? Because I'm trying to get this damn password.
You're gonna be trying for a long time, Ken.
Hold on. I got one more try and I'm gonna get this. Let's see. Well, I'll work on it later. Anyway, go check out.
There's a clue in the frequently asked questions on Epoch Labz.
All right, so there you go.
But it's not going to help you at all.
Oh, well, then it's not a goddamn clue.
Well, it didn't really help us because we haven't gotten it yet. So. All
right. We're gonna figure this out. This will anyway. Join Epoch Labz because this, with everything we said, it all sounds good, right? I wish we would have started with this because this would have set the tone perfectly. You can say what you want about how much fun it is and everything until you try it. And then you try to put a damn password in when everything's backwards and you just can't fucking get it. That is Epoch Labz. And it's why it's fun. So go check it out. It'll be a good time. And you can sit in the Discord and argue with everyone that you know the answer and none of them do, which will be a good time. But then you won't know the answer because apparently Boss Cat Billionaire is a sadist and he makes these puzzles very, very hard. But we still love him. So, all right.
He calls himself the God of Lore, so there's got to be a reason for it.
There you go. Well, maybe it's God of Lore backwards. We'll try after the live stream. All right. Anyway, we got to do some giveaways. We actually have a couple. So make sure you have about 2.5 seconds to type hashtag Epoch, EPOCH, in the live chat on YouTube. After that, you're hit. Now, if you do win this, you have to put your Twitter or your Ada handle in the chat. Otherwise, I won't have it. Or Yachts, you guys will probably know most of these winners, right? So as long as you know who they are, we can get their address from them. Right. So if we don't know you, we're gonna need your address. All right. So let's go. Where's the giveaway tool? Here we go. All right. So what should we give away first? We have the 50 copium. We have 50 bamboo, and then we have the saltiest of salty seagulls, and I'll show them to everybody here. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. There's a little Crash helmet on. Evil Knievel with a magic eye background. I wonder if there's anything in that background. God, there's so many puzzles. All right.
No, that's not Epoch Labz. That's original art.
Right. It is now. So what are we giving away first out of those three things? What do you think, guys?
I don't know. Why don't we do coins and then the gull?
All right, fair. So
everybody needs some copium. So why don't we start with some copium?
Fair.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's see who gets this. If CMDR wins, we're kicking him out. By the way, congratulations, Angel effing Finance, for getting Levy. You're fantastic.
Yes. Congratulations, Angel Finance. That is wow.
Right. Wow. And congratulations, Crash. Did you guys know Crash?
Yay, Crash. Yes, I know Crash. Crash is actually counsel with me from Salty Seagulls. So.
Oh, shit.
No, it's good. Listen, he worked hard too. So, fair is fair.
CMDR.
You can't talk like that, CMDR. You're a founder and part owner of Levy now. You have to be professional. Cut the shit. All right. So I'll get Crash's address from you guys. So that's the copium. You're welcome, Crash. There you go. Congrats. So we got another one. So this one will do the bamboo, right? So this must be a Panda Society thing, I would think.
And so we really don't know what these coins are going to do. They're going to be interoperable, and all of these Steve, Noble,
nice, Steven. Yes,
perfect. So you guys know him as well, so we can get his address from you guys.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with the bamboo tokens.
No. And I was just saying that all these metaverses are going to be interoperable. So that means like these assets from the bamboo and the copium are going to be used like as like trading and resources for each project. So for example, in Panda Society, you may need copium in order to do something, and vice versa. Like in Chilled Kongs, you may need bamboo in order to do something on Kong Island. So having any of these assets and staking your NFTs is very important right now because it will be important later on down the line.
Yeah. Now, you know what would be cool? If you could make those, what are they, punji sticks they used to make out of bamboo on Kong Island with bamboo and trap other people and somehow just get their Kongs out of their wallet. You just make punji pits.
You never know. You just never know. There could be traps. There could be traps already.
Be careful where you walk on Kong Island. All right, so this is for the salty seagull with the not so magic eye background. Let's see who gets this. Oh, you better not be CMDR. Hey,
yeah.
congratulations.
He's one of our like top tier like community members right now. He's just everywhere, just posting on Twitter, posting in on Kongs and Epic Labz, and just fantastic community member.
That's awesome. And this is a nice way to do this. It's kind of stinks that it doesn't take X into account with the comments, right? Because we have, even right now, there's over 100 eyes watching this. I can see it on my screen. I don't know if you can. Well, 200 eyes, if they have 2 eyes, right? Some people have accidents. That's fine. We love you just the same. But you know, I think this only works with YouTube, which is tough. Most people watch on X. But we should do one more. We'll give away, like, what do you want to do? Like 2 million Dan or something? We'll give somebody some Dan tokens, and then we got to spin the wheel for Dan.
I would love to. Yeah, let's give away some Dan.
All right, cool.
Fantastic.
Let's see. Whoever wins this, you're going to need a Radix wallet, but we can help you out. Michelle. Is it Michelle? It might be Michelle because it's a guy. I think it's Michelle Marino. Make sure that you go to the Dan Discord, and we'll get you all set up. I will put the Twitter handle in the chat here. Go in there if you need help setting up a wallet. Everything's in there, and we'll get those tokens over.
We'll get you all set up there, and of course too, like if you join the Epic Labz, feel free to please hit us up, like all of the ground control. We would be more than happy to help you along, and any questions that you have, please tag us, and we'll get back to you with any questions.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And we have to do our leaderboard. I don't know if any of you guys know this yet. You probably do. But Yachts and I are actually founders of a project called Dan over on Radix, and it is a record-breaking meme token. It launched a couple of weeks ago. Literally broke every single record from the amount that we raised in the pre-sale to, I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's an amazing community. It's a lot of fun. But every week we do an engagement giveaway. So, you know, you go in, use the engage bot, top 10 people, and then we spin a wheel and they take home. I think we'll do, what do you want to do? Like, what should we do? 5 million again, like last week?
Yeah, I think five is worth. Yeah.
Cool. Man, it's only 1 week, right? That's a good chunk of tokens.
Yes.
But we'll see. So we'll see who on this leaderboard takes this home. We're going to have to get you some Dan, Daz. Yeah, I know you're in the Discord.
Yes.
I am in Discord. I'm a little wary of mobile use with crypto. It's just kind of like a personal thing. I was very much on board with you guys, but I do all of my transacting on a PC. So I'm not all that comfortable with the mobile stuff. So.
Right. They actually have Zeus with a 3 instead of any Z3 US is a community open source browser based wallet for Radix as well. So that might be
that might be something that you'd be into. Yeah.
Oh, actually,
I will look into that.
It's silver again. Silver won again. Number 2, Master Killer. So it's 2 weeks in a row. He took that home. So, well, congrats. Silver.
Keep killing it. So
you people know we're not rigging it. But there you go. All right. Congratulations. Well, this was a lot of fun, guys. I had a good time. So thanks for swinging by. This password's really pissing me off. I got to figure this out.
No, and thank you for taking your time for having us on. And, it was really great to talk. We've been really excited about talking about this. I mean, there's just been so much going on with Epic Labz for the past 2 years, and it's starting to finally start getting the recognition that it deserves. And, it's just going to get bigger and bigger from here.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's with this many projects and with everything being so interconnected, right? With the games and the puzzles, it just seems like it's just overcoming that hump of wanting to get involved. And once you do, like once I saw that password, like I have things I have to do today, but I'm probably not going to do them now because I'm just going to be trying to figure this shit out all day, and I'm going to get yelled at and hit with a frying pan. But that's okay because it's fun, right? And that's what we're here for, is building community and having fun.
And thank you all for showing up today. I know it's a Saturday and everything, but thank you all for joining in and listening to us. Just kind of go down that rabbit hole. So I appreciate all of you.
Hell yeah, that reanimated rabbit hole. And make sure
Absolutely.
you're following Epoch Labz on Twitter at Epoch Labz with a Z, not an S, because we're cool and we don't use S's around here. All right. I guess that's it, guys. This really was a lot of fun. We're gonna have to have you back once you guys like crack one of these big, these big codes or something for Epoch Labz. Once the next thing comes out, and once we know a little bit more about how Salty Seagulls is, gonna take their rightful place at the top. You think the Seagulls will bump Kongs? You never
know. You never know. We do have a pretty strong community. I mean, it's gotten a little quiet because we've been, in the transition period, but gulls can get pretty loud,
That they can. Don't feed gulls Alka-Seltzer, people. Public service announcement, okay?
And watch your sandwich when you're at the beach, because they will steal it from you.
They will.
And your French fries.
Yes, and your French fries, yeah.
And your children, if they're small and holding French fries. All right.
And also Salty Seagulls, like every night they have those rumbles or the battles where you can throw French fries at each other and throw grenades and watch your friends die. So yeah, check out their Discord and get involved, because that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, every night one of our council members, Capers, does host games for about an hour. So it's we're mostly East Coast people, so it's kind of late for some of the European people. Southeast Asia, they can catch it in the morning. But yeah, I mean that's one of the things that has been keeping us active so far. Right. So
and follow Pandatron. Please. I'm finding anything. Please follow Pandatron.
What's the handle for Pandatron?
That's it. You were just on it. Third one down. You were just there.
Oh, right here. Here we go.
Yeah, follow this guy.
All right.
We need if we can get to 2,000, like, oh man, I know something will be unlocked. My spidey senses are tingling.
You have spidey senses?
I do. It could be maybe my sixth, possibly my seventh sense. I don't know. I don't know how many senses I have, but I know I have more than 5.
All right, fair. All right, well, there's the handle right there at Pandatron NFT. Why not? Right? Go follow it. You have nothing else you're doing right now. You're watching us, and watching me say anything is not important. Maybe these guys, but I'm not worth your time or effort. So make sure, just go follow Pandatron NFT instead. Now that we're done.
You too, CMDR, because I know that you're going to give me shit about this, but just follow him. All right.
Follow the panda. And he's a good panda, right? He's not one of those communist pandas, I promise.
I think you're right. I think he was misunderstood. I think he did some bad things, but I think that he's realizing that, and he's gonna do something. He's gonna kick some ass,
So, well, apparently he did. He blew up an entire spaceship, but it was a misunderstanding. Anyway,
yeah.
All right. I guess we should go. But thanks again, guys, for swinging by. And everyone, don't forget, you can win a Magic Kong. Just go to the WenMint Discord. You can find it at WenMint_podcast on X. The Discord is in, what do you call that? The profile, the description, the little words at the top of the profile, whatever. You'll find it there. There's a link. Go in there, go to giveaways, click enter, and you're entered. It's that easy. That'll end in 3 days. And with that, I guess we will get the hell out of here. So thanks again, guys.
Right on. Thank you all. Much love.
Talk soon, of course. And don't forget, this is not financial advice, but buy everything Epoch Labz, buy Dan, and come by the Dan Discord too, because we have rumbles every day. We play Smash cards for DGens. It's fun. All right. See you later.